Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
This is the podcast for football.
Oh my God. Oh, boys, this is the biggest week of this week. I mean, we got Colorado, and we are pumped. The Stockwell clan is going to the game.
Yes, you are. I
And Bob
sure wish I could be. I sure wish I could be there, Jay Stockwell, but I can't.
Bob Frady seems to be calling in from the den of iniquity. What is going on over there?
Darkness. Darkness.
Is it from like Deion Sanders' basement or something? What is going on?
I would like to think that it was intentional. It just happens to be really dark outside because we're recording this at night. So nothing intentional, but it's 8:10, still slightly light here in Minnesota. But it's night, so therefore, windows. My professional podcasting studio, me and Mother Nature out the window.
Marion Winter volleyball game, which is why we're doing this late.
Very good.
Planning to do this at 5 p.m.
And at 4:59, Jay's like, let's change it. It was 8 o'clock. I'm like, thanks for letting me know so I could adapt my schedule. No. Thinks I'm sitting around just waiting to make jokes, which is mostly true.
George used his time wisely to study.
There you go.
That's not,
but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about football.
About college football. Come on.
And our preview episode for the mighty, mighty Buffalo, Big 8, Buffalo, what do they go? Colorado Buffalo, the Buffs.
So
it's funny that they're called the Buffs because last time I went there, I didn't see anybody who was naked.
Here's our plan. We are flying down Friday. George and I are playing golf with Uncle Pat and Uncle Vern at Field Club in Omaha Saturday morning. We're headed down to the game, courtesy the business school. Thank you, the team at Kathy Farrell Inc. and Amy Cloughcorn Incorporated. And we're going to be heading to a few tailgates and a little bit of the time at the Champions Club, and are very excited about witnessing this game. So
yes, if you see a giant, if you look for the whitest Shrek in the place and just say Jay, then you'll probably find him with three blonde satellites surrounding him. Of varying heights, then you'll know you've arrived.
So I'm going to go last this time, but why don't we start with George and just like, what are your thoughts? What are your takes? How are you feeling about the game? I know you picked us to lose in the preseason pod against Colorado, but I think you maybe have changed your tune.
I've definitely changed my tune. I think Nebraska's going to win this game. I think it will be close, but their defense just did not look that good last week, and I think our wide receivers are going to burn them. We saw Raiola; he was cooking against UTEP. I know we're not playing UTEP again, but I think it's going to be an offensive shooter. I don't know if our defense is going to be able to handle their really good wide receivers in Shadeur, but we'll see. I'm really curious to see how our defense does. I think that's going to be the deciding factor of the game.
Well, I agree with you. I think that Shadeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are going to be two of the first 5 picks in next year's draft. So we're talking about pro talent here. But last game, they had 445 yards of passing and about 56 yards of rushing, which means they're one-dimensional, which means it's easier to plan for because they don't have a run game and they ostensibly don't have an offensive line. Tony White is a guy that can plan for that. So I kind of agree with you. I think from a matchup standpoint, they're clearly going to be challenging with their 2 main guys, but I think we're well positioned to handle that. What say you, Bob Fraley? No, go ahead, George. You have another thought?
I kind of disagree with you on the one-dimensional thing. I think that they just played one game this year. Their running offense could definitely come out and play today. Maybe they were just planning for NDSU. Their coverage was blown half the time. They were having easy touchdowns in the first half, so we could see their run offense, or we could just see passing again. But either way, I still think they're going to put up a lot of points.
Referring to the Husker Max comparison from Joe Hudson, Nebraska versus Colorado. Colorado's rushing game, 59 yards, ranked 118th in the country. Nebraska had 223. Now, this is one game, so, take it for what it's worth, right?
Exactly.
It's an N of one, as they would say in statistics.
Yes.
I know that because I have knowledge.
But total offense, we're right. I mean, Nebraska was 507, they're 504. So, but it's a different makeup. Nebraska has a really balanced attack. We've got a great running back room. We've got a great offensive line.
Well, also, Nebraska pulled their starters in the middle of the third quarter.
That is true.
Yeah, they were playing their 8th-string running back in the fourth quarter.
109 guys played in the game, right? So
I look at it this way. All the Nebraska fans are trying their best to be as mad as possible, which is not a very Nebraska thing, about Colorado coming here and they think Nebraska's going to win. They're a little scared, but they think Nebraska's going to win. All the Colorado fans are filled with hatred for all things Nebraska for some strange reason. I don't know why. They don't even grow corn in that state. And they think that Colorado's going to win. And then you look at the middle ground, the prognosticators. And of course, we think they're going to win because we're fans. But I look at all the prognosticators, and they keep coming around like 34-24, somewhere in that range, Nebraska. And which to me, it's like, I think that what we're going to see is akin to what we saw with LSU and USC, where Nebraska's going to sit in a cover 2 or even a cover 3 defense and just sit back and see if Sanders can make enough smart plays to matriculate the ball down the field. Given his behavior at the end of the game when he threw an interception and almost cost them the game, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he will make mistakes if you just patiently play into him making mistakes. And I think that Nebraska's just going to pound the rock. They're just going to pound it. Although maybe that's wishful thinking, but I just see them pounding a rock, a little play action, and I see it 28-21 Nebraska.
I think one thing that's going to be a really big factor in this game that I've heard nobody talk about is penalties. I mean, Colorado was really, really, really dirty last week, especially Shadeur Sanders. And I mean, they're playing in a packed Memorial Stadium. I mean, they're gonna be some dirty plays. I think that's going to be a big factor in the game.
We had last game. Good point, George. Last game we had only 35 yards in penalties, 3 penalties. Both sides had 3 penalties. 35 and 30 yards. But I think your comments about Shadeur Sanders are right on the money. Shadeur is a dirty, dirty player. Well,
who knows? Maybe somebody on North Dakota State or wherever they played said something about his mama and he got all mad in the game. That happens. These are kids. They react badly, and it could be just one bad game. So I wouldn't label him a dirty player. That's not really fair. To say that he skirts the boundaries of good taste, I would say that's a very Nebraska thing to say. See, I learn it.
Yeah, you are learning. One of the things I really liked last week, our total defense was just 205 yards,
and most of it came on the touchdown drive when they just seemed to be caught napping. It's like
that's right.
The UTEP just seemed to catch them by surprise on that drive. Next thing you know, they're in the end zone.
It was 29. Yeah, we're ranked 29th in the nation after 1 week. Colorado, on the other hand, 449 yards, ranked 112. So I think their defense against Dylan Raiola is a major weakness. I think that's where now the other key area is going to be turnovers, and I really liked what I saw last weekend. We only had 1 fumble, and that was Dante Dowdell, who I think showed himself to be the number 1 RB1 in that room, and I think we're going to do great again there. And they don't seem to have penalties. Raiola seems like incredibly calm and secure running the offense and making checks. The one play that Rule talked about, he checked 3 times, and Emmett Johnson had that long run on the third check in 1 play. So that means that he's got command of the offense. He's very comfortable doing it. And against a defense that's ranked 112th in the nation right now, I think they could have potentially a big day.
It is. It'll be interesting to see for sure. And I think with the Stockwells on the sideline, it's gonna give the crowd a little extra energy. They're like, "Oh my God, Jay Stockwell's here," and he brought his whole family with him. I can't believe it. It'll be even louder than ever. The stadium will be so excited that it's hard to imagine how excited that's. I mean, I haven't been to a game given in the last 7 years where the Nebraska crowd has really leaned into it the way I think they're going to, at least in the first quarter of this game. And if they get up, then they're really going to lean into it. And it should be fun.
All right, so let's talk scores. I think you guys have mentioned them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Nebraska will win that battle. I think it's going to be 45-35.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a shootout.
High scoring. Yeah.
I think the black shirts would smack you if you said they're going to give up 35 points to Colorado. They'd come over there and have issue. They would have issue with that statement.
As I say, I think we're going to win the game.
They wouldn't hit an old man, but you don't look that old. So
I think Shadeur, Sanders, and Travis Hunter are just that good. I just think they're that good, and they're going to find the end zone a few times. But
it'll be a real test of their defensive backs. I don't worry about the line. They didn't really get to the quarterback very much last week, which was a little concerning. But maybe they were just sitting back in a pass defense. Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many sacks you get, how many wins you get, and they won. So there you go.
So do you think, here's a question for you. Do you think that North Dakota State's offense is better than ours?
No.
They put up 445 yards of offense against Colorado.
Yeah, but again, you just never know. It's 1 week. You just never know. And I think sometimes, like Nebraska's volleyball team, they walk in, they think they're going to just roll over the opponent, and they lose. It happens.
That's what happened last night. Lost to SMU.
Exactly. SMU. I mean,
so the side by side. Look at the side by. You probably can't see it. Side by side stat comparison. The dark ones are the advantage. The bolded black.
Yeah, but it's one game. Jeez,
it's one
game. You know what? This is why sales guys should never be let loose with statistics. It's because, look at that. Look at the black numbers. That's good. You should charge more for that. It's like, no. The N is 1. It's an N of 1. It's not statistically significant. That's okay. Look at all the black. Charge extra.
The data speaks volumes here.
The data's telling a story.
The data's telling a story, and I think it's going to be carried onto the field here. So I'm pretty excited about Saturday night. Any other games we want to talk about for the weekend? By the way, last weekend, 17-1. The Big Ten went 17-1.
Yeah.
Colin Cowherd's going crazy over USC.
Oh,
yeah. Miller Moss and the gang thinking about
that was quite the game. It's like, in the preseason, one of the things were like, there's no D in University of Southern California. Trojans, spell the whole thing out. There's no D in there anywhere. Then we thought there's no D in Nebraska Cornhuskers either. So
we have D. We have D for sure.
We have defense, but there's no D in Nebraska Cornhuskers. Yeah, because I have, and I know that I can know the alphabet. So who knows, man? It's I'm pumped for Michigan and Texas.
Yeah, that's
in the big house. That should be a good game. Florida State. I know you're still hungover for not getting in the Natty last year, but boy, what a stinker of a season they're having so far.
$12 million spent on NIL, and they're 0-2.
Oh,
they went from a top 10 ranking to not ranked at all.
They fell out of their rankings after week 2. Ooh.
It's just favored at Michigan by the same margin we were favored against Colorado, 7.5.
Yeah, and you never know what the home crowd's going to bring to the table. If Nebraska is nice and loud, it's hard to hear in those headsets. So it's going to be a good testament to who knows their offense is better. Because if you're screaming like a good Nebraska fan and they can't hear what's going on, they just got to go with what they first hear. And it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So, George, what's your favorite thing about going to Lincoln for a game? I know what it is. What's that?
What is that? What, the Husker shop? The game? Husker. Yeah, the Husker shop. That's my favorite thing, definitely.
Are you getting a new shirt this year? Are you getting a new Herbie Husker outfit? What's going on?
I'm just going to get a couple shirts, probably. I'm not going to get... I grown out of my overalls, the Nebraska overalls. So
yeah, it's the end of an era. George would go to a game every year with the Herbie Husker overalls. Now he's on a podcast like a almost grown up. It's so Jay, what's your favorite part of going to a Nebraska game?
I like it all. What I love most is reconnecting with my friends, my fraternity brothers. and I love I love just being a supporter of Nebraska and participating with like the business school, the memorial, the ROTC program, the the athletics department. I'm eager to see the new facilities this week, and just being around Nebraska. It's such a positive and wonderful environment, and a very unique college sports setting.
Okay, both of you have not given the right answer yet.
What is the right answer?
Well, there's two. Number one is seeing our names on the Veterans Memorial plaque outside the north entrance of the stadium, and people looking like, "Who the hell is that guy? He didn't even go here." What? That's just, but it's the plaques have finally been corrected, and our wives' names are now on them.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know the story, Jay and I donated to the Veterans Memorial outside of the north entrance to the stadium, and they unveiled it, and it had Jay Stockwell, Commander Jay Stockwell, and it had Bob Frady in the middle of the entire thing in this giant plaque. And we're like, we're in trouble because our wives' names are not on there. And everyone else had like Mr. and Mrs., Dr. and Mrs., Commander and Mrs., Jay Stockwell, Bob Frady. So it took 2 years, but the athletic department did a great job and finally got it replaced. So now our wives' names are on there.
Actually, the foundation, NU Foundation.
The foundation, well, whoever it was. So that's number one. But number two, Runzas. I mean, come on, man.
I love Runzas. Oh, my goodness.
I mainline a Runza every chance I get down there. It's like, let's go. I mean, listen, I'm 190 pounds soaking wet, but I can pack me away some Runzas.
I'm kind of partial to the just straight hamburger Val's pizza.
Everyone has their favorites. You all can't be as flavor forward as a Runza fan. I get that.
You guys are forgetting about Valentino's.
Yeah, we got it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Valentino's is good, but Runza. You better come home with some Runzas. That's George. That's your mission. Stick them in your bag on the airplane, but heat them up before you get on there so everyone smells them. Drive people crazy.
I'm going out to California, Bob, on Sunday.
All right, dude. I'm going out to California on Sunday. I got my accent ready. I'm ready to go. So for all the Nebraska people out there, when the UCLA comes to town, you got to say, "Dude, sup, dude." We'll call it Dude Week. Dude, sup. And it's not what's up, it's sup, S-U-P. Sup, dude.
I'm going to the All-In Summit. I'm going to meet my heroes.
Dude. See? It works. You can answer any question with dude. Go ahead, ask me a question. Anything.
Okay. Hey, Bob, who's your favorite team in California?
Dude.
Bob,
the Padres.
What's your favorite burger to eat in California?
Dude, In-N-Out. Sup? Double.
Bob, what's your favorite Mexican place in California?
Dude. Juanita's in
No, it's Javier's, man.
No. The Javier's is for hoes. You want Mexican food, go to Juanita's.
Is that San Juan Cap?
That's a Lucadia, dude.
Oh.
It's Lucadia. See? It's a great... See, because sometimes you need time to think when you respond. Stockwell, you should adopt this habit because you really do need that time to think sometimes where it's like, dude, give yourself a second, let the gears turn. It's Juanita's, dude. See, easy.
Hey, let's do a little shout out to our Southern California buddy Vince Ferragamo, because I think we want Vince back, and I want to send him this video and say, scroll out to 1935 and hear the shout out. So Vince, we want you back on the pod, bro. Give him one of your dudes. Give him one of your dudes. Say, dude,
sup, podcast. See, that's how it works. Dude and sup. It's like just try it, George. Hey, George.
Yeah, let's try it, George.
What's the best part about going to school?
Nothing, dude.
Oh,
I don't
dude. Okay. The dude comes first. You know what? It's like I feel like I'm a driving manual right now. It's just everything's just a suggestion. It's like, dude, so chemistry class. See, the dude gives the time to think. Ready? George, what do you like best about Minneapolis?
I see that doesn't make sense. In front of
Dude,
that. It doesn't.
Yes, you can. You can put it in front of anything. You can put it in front of anything. Dude, you can put it in front of anything. So,
How about dude, the Timberwolves, dude, Anthony Edwards.
maybe you should work on your dude there a little bit. Sounds a little bit too much like doof.
I'm trying to.
Doof. Trying to school you Midwesterners on how to talk Southern Californian is really kind of funny.
Guys, it's a football podcast. Come on.
Dude, you got to go to LA this year. You want to go to an away game, the first snow will probably already be here, and it's mid-November before Thanksgiving, and harvest should be all done by that time, let's hope, unless you're growing winter wheat, then, it's a whole different story. Come on out to LA, because, dude, it's nice in November. Salt, we'll go to the beach, get some Randy's Donuts, we'll have a great time.
All right. So all right. I'm saying 45-35. What are you saying, George?
Let's go 28-21. I don't think they're gonna put up a bunch of points. And one thing I wanted to come back to real quick, Uncle Bob was talking about our defensive line not putting a bunch of pressure. We had 3 guys in the box the whole time. We just had a bunch of cornerbacks out there. We had 3 dudes on the line every time. We were not putting pressure on them. Maybe that's going to be our goal.
Didn't need to in that game.
Exactly.
Dude.
Yeah.
So cover 3.
All right. So Bob, what is your prediction? What's your numbers here?
Dude. It's up, I think, 30-20.
30-20. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Well, let me look at what the over-under is on this.
7.5.
No, the over-under.
Last year the over-under was like, they could have made the over-under 3 last year, and we'd still want to take the under.
But what's that? It's it is high. It's 68.
68.
Dude,
Whoa.
dude.
58.
Sup?
So 45-35. I'm a little north of that.
Yeah, no, a little.
I take the under.
Yeah.
I take the under.
I'd take the under.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a defensive struggle. We're going to run all over this group. We just are.
But if you run, what does it do? It takes time off the clock. Time off the clock.
Say run over them. I mean run and pass over them. It's going to be
you're feeling very confident.
I am.
And to any Colorado fans coming to Nebraska for this game, please don't key anyone's car or do something stupid, passive-aggressive like that. If you want to take on a Nebraska fan, you face them straight up.
Good news is Bob Frady won't be there, so
I won't be there.
I won't have to break up any
The
fights.
fire starter won't be there. So,
all right, Bob Frady, take us out.
go Big Red!
Go Big Red!